Once upon a time, nestled at the edge of a deep green forest, lived a sweet little girl. Everyone in her village adored her, but no one loved her more than her grandmother. Her granny had once made her a beautiful little riding cloak of red velvet, and it suited her so well that she would wear it everywhere she went. And so, everyone simply called her Little Red Riding Hood. One sunny morning, her mother called her and said, "Little Red, your grandmother is feeling unwell. I've packed a basket with some fresh bread, butter, and a bottle of juice. Please take it to her, but be very careful. Stay on the path, don't dawdle, and don't talk to any strangers." Little Red Riding Hood promised she would be very careful, took the basket, and set off on her journey. Her grandmother's cottage was a good walk away, right through the heart of the woods. The forest was alive with the sounds of birds chirping and the sight of sunlight dappling through the leaves. Little Red was enjoying her walk, humming a little tune. Suddenly, a wolf appeared on the path beside her. He had a sly smile and eyes that seemed to twinkle with mischief. "Jet." "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood," he said in a surprisingly smooth voice. Little Red, forgetting her mother's warning for just a moment, replied, "Good morning to you, Mr. Wolf." "And where are you off to so early in the day?" the wolf asked, trying to sound as friendly as possible. "I'm on my way to my grandmother's house," she said cheerfully. "She's not feeling well, and I'm bringing her this basket of goodies to help her feel better." "How very thoughtful of you," the wolf purred. "And where does your grandmother live?" "Oh, just a bit further down the path, under the 3 large oak trees." "You can't miss it," she exclaimed innocently. The wolf's mind started racing. He thought, "What a tender young thing. She'll be even tastier than the old woman. I must be clever to get them both." So, he walked alongside her for a little while and then said, "Little Red, look at all the beautiful flowers in the woods. Why don't you pick some for your grandmother?" Little Red looked around and saw the most wonderful wildflowers blooming all around her. It was a lovely idea. She stepped off the path and began gathering a beautiful bouquet. Meanwhile, the wolf, seeing his chance, dashed straight to the grandmother's cottage. He knocked on the door. "Who's there?" called a weak voice from inside. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," the wolf replied, pitching his voice high to sound like the little girl. "I've brought you some bread and juice. Just lift the latch, my dear. I'm too weak to get up," said the grandmother. The wolf lifted the latch, the door swung open, and he went straight to the bed and swallowed the poor grandmother in one gulp. Then, he put on her nightgown and cap, drew the curtains around the bed, and lay down to wait. By this time, Little Red had picked a huge bunch of flowers. When she couldn't carry any more, she remembered her grandmother and hurried back to the path. She was surprised to find the cottage door wide open. A strange feeling of unease washed over her as she stepped inside. Everything seemed so quiet. She walked to the bedside and pulled back the curtains. Her grandmother was lying there, but she looked very strange. "Oh, grandmother," she said, "what big ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my dear," replied the wolf, trying to disguise his gruff voice. "But, grandmother, what big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with, my dear." "And grandmother, what big hands you have." "All the better to hug you with, my dear." "But grandmother, what a terribly big mouth you have." "All the better to eat you with." And with that, the wolf leaped out of bed and swallowed poor Little Red Riding Hood whole. With his belly full, the wolf lay back down in the bed, fell fast asleep, and began to snore very loudly. A woodsman who was passing by heard the loud snoring and thought, "My, how the old woman snores. I should check if everything is all right." Who went inside and saw the wolf sleeping in the bed. "So, I've found you at last, you old sinner," he said. He was about to raise his axe when it occurred to him that the wolf might have eaten the grandmother, and she could still be saved. So, instead of striking, he took a pair of scissors and carefully began to snip open the sleeping wolf's belly. After just a few snips, he saw the little red cloak. He snipped a little more, and out jumped Little Red Riding Hood, crying, "Oh, I was so scared. It was so dark inside the wolf." And then out came her grandmother, alive but very weak. Little Red quickly fetched some large stones, and they filled the wolf's belly with them. When the wolf finally woke up, he felt terribly heavy. He tried to run away, but the stones were so heavy that he collapsed and fell down right there on the spot. And that was the end of the wolf. The woodsman, the grandmother, and Little Red Riding Hood were all overjoyed. The grandmother ate the treats Little Red had brought and soon felt much stronger. As for Little Red Riding Hood, she learned a very important lesson that day. She promised herself she would never again stray from the path or talk to strangers in the woods.